Jay's is facing backlash as some of the people he previously crossed are speaking out. Gene Deal recently mentioned that Jay's is under increased scrutiny, and even Bianca appears to be stepping back. Additionally, Diddy has reportedly distanced himself from Jay's over a lack of support during the trial.
Funny to me, man, is that Diddy used to hate Jay-Z. He hated Jay-Z enough when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s.
Did Diddy always say negative things about Jay around you?
The time he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay, yeah, he was. They worked it out.
Was there a reason behind it?
I couldn't tell you the reason behind it. It was probably because Big had died. I don't know what it was, man. I don't know why he wanted Ja Rule to go at Jay. I guess if he kept them beefing or kept them into some bullshit, he could rise up in between both of them. You know what I mean? It definitely was some snakes.
Jay's has faced controversy throughout his career, and recent developments have put him under increased scrutiny. Jaguar Wright and Gene Deal have long discussed these concerns. Both Jay-Z and Diddy have been involved in high-profile conflicts, and public attention continues to follow their actions. While Diddy faced legal consequences, Jay's situation remains uncertain, and many are watching closely to see how it unfolds.
Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, and Jay Prince. These four gentlemen that got together are going to put up $30 million apiece.
Contemplating doing the first black-owned distribution company.
The thing is, they wasn't trying to let us in the door. That's why I don't trust these people.
But Suge came up with the idea. It was a brilliant plan. He said, whatever the recording funds, 10% goes to the union. Each time you do a new album, 10%. It was going to be some get down or lay down shit. Shortly after that, the feds raided me.
All of us being hit up around the same time. Someone left at me talking about our move.
It was Jay-Z and Puff that went to those New York corner to let them know what Suge Knight was trying to do. They told Jay, if you help us get rid of Dame, we're going to make you the president of Def Jam.
Why don't we stick together and they got to come to us? For some reason, everybody just wants to do everything on their own. They don't understand collective economics.
Jay's has faced criticism within the industry, and past incidents continue to draw attention. In December 1999, he pled guilty to third-degree assault in connection with an altercation involving Lance Unrivera. Despite the plea, Lance has publicly stated that he was not stabbed, suggesting he may have reasons for keeping certain details private.
A top rap star is busted.
Jay-Z turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved in this.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was Jay-Z hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of Jay-Z.
I have my faults. You know, I'm not a perfect person.
Jay's has publicly reflected on the 1999 incident with Lance Unrivera, describing it as a significant moment in his life. At the same time, Lance has chosen not to publicly dispute certain details of the case. Witnesses at the Kit Kat Club have shared their perspectives, but Lance remains the only one to publicly state that he was not stabbed.
You had an incident with Rivera, you know, where you pled guilty to charges of, I don't remember exactly the charges, assault with a deadly weapon.
They would have never let me be out here with you if that was the case.
You stabbed him. Okay, all right. Do you feel like that was a mistake in hindsight?
I believe that was the greatest thing ever. This is gonna sound crazy, but I believe that helped me. You know what I'm saying? Because that put the brakes on everything. That let me know that no matter how successful you are and how much you're on your road, it can all stop. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you still kid from Marcy Projects, and you know, not everybody they waiting for you to mess up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just go ahead. You know what I'm saying? We let you just go ahead and self-destruct yourself. You know what I'm saying? But that right there was a moment I was like, okay. You know, and I'm glad it didn't have to take for me to be in jail for like 7 years to be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? That moment was like, okay, all that stops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to parties with 30 people, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not putting myself in that position.
Yeah. When you look at Dame still kind of living that life, you know, you could find Dame at the club, you know.
Yeah, but he's with 30 models. It's a little different. I was with the hood.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point. He's hanging at a different kind of club now.
Right.
Public scrutiny has increasingly shifted from Diddy to Jay-Z, with both figures now facing intense criticism in the court of public opinion. Some commentators, including Ice Cube, have suggested that Diddy's downfall appeared sudden and unusually rapid. In a short period of time, Diddy went from operating at billionaire status to facing major financial losses and incarceration, raising questions among observers about how quickly circumstances changed. While opinions vary on whether these events were driven by personal actions, legal processes, or broader industry dynamics, many believe there is more complexity behind the scenes than what has been publicly explained.
You're hearing Diddy everywhere, okay?
Yeah.
So, did you ever have any kind of run-in with Diddy? Did you ever do anything with Diddy? Any projects you worked on with him?
He produced a few records, or had his producers do a few records on my War and Peace album, the Peace Disc. Yeah.
How was he to work with?
It was cool. You know, he, gave us great music. We flew out to New York, and I was mainly in the studio with the producer. You know, he had a stable of producers, so I was in the studio with his stable of producers, and I think we did some great music. And you know, I really kind of, lost contact with him and really stopped, dealing with Puffy around 94. Yeah.
Any specific reason?
Yeah, I mean, they was doing their thing, I was doing mine. And, I'm not the partying type. You know what I mean? I ain't never been to a Diddy party. I ain't never really wanted to go. But I don't go to a lot of people parties. That just ain't what I'm in it for.
During the height of the East Coast-West Coast rivalry in 1996, Jay's reportedly stayed in his Las Vegas hotel room to avoid a potential confrontation with Tupac. Gene Deal has explained that Suge Knight, head of Death Row Records, intervened to help de-escalate the situation, ensuring Tupac left Jay's alone so he could perform on stage.
The story behind Jay-Z being afraid to come out his hotel room because of Pac. All right, what happened was that I guess Pac had got whiffed that Jay-Z was in town. Well, he gonna do a show because Jay-Z, he doing a show. But you gotta realize Jay-Z had became an enemy of Pac because I think he had said was gonna do a song with Big or whatever like that, the whole 9 yards. So Jay is now Pac's enemy too. So Chaz Williams, who was over Black Hands. Black Hands was one of the labels who did that Black Gangster had every artist in New York on. And Chaz, who is now getting into the music business, has become a music executive. And he was once a former gangster who was on American Gangster, BET, because they had him down for robbing 161 banks. That's what they put in their program and everything. But Chaz was a gangster in New York City that became a music executive. So he gets a phone call saying that Jay is not going to come out the room because Tupac threatened him. So he's not going to do his show. Can he make some phone calls, you understand, to get Pac off the bullshit? So I think he may have talked to Big D, and Big D and Eric B called Suge, and Suge was laughing, saying that wasn't him. Because they tried to make it seem like it was Suge that was doing it, but it was Pac. So I guess Suge called Pac. Pac let him go ahead and do his show and everything like that. But Jay was scared to come out of his room. So that story was really true about Jay-Z being afraid to come out his hotel room.
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, he was scared. Probably still is scared.
Even Gene Deal has commented on Jay's reputation, questioning the perception of him as being truly dangerous. If Jay's were as threatening as some claim, it raises questions about why those close to the situation would speak the way they do.
Yeah, one time I wanted to knock his head off, because he was being disrespectful. We was in Cancun and he had a personal assistant from my block named Laura. And he had brought like 6 people to the club with him, and he was only supposed to get 3 people in. I was running the door at Daddy-O's from Industry Entertainment. They just told me Jay-Z only get 3 people in. So I'm at the door. I said, yo, Jay, you good? And 3 of your other good, but the other 3 got to pay. So then he said, Laura, handle him. And at that time, the type of dude I was, you couldn't tell no woman to handle me when I'm talking to you as a man. I said, who you talking to like that? You telling her to handle me? And then me and him, he didn't say nothing. He just turned to the side. And if he'd have turned back around, he'd have got his head knocked off. But Laura told me, yo, Gene, please, Gene, you're going to make me lose my job. You know what I'm saying? And because, one, she was beautiful. 2, she from a block. I wasn't going to do that to her. So I gathered myself, stepped away from the situation, you know what I'm saying? But he was being disrespectful.
Diddy and Jay's have both been linked to controversies over the years, with some witnesses sharing their accounts of past events. Gene Deal has mentioned knowing young people who were connected to Jay's at the time. While Jay's was never arrested, the situation attracted little public scrutiny at the time. As more details and perspectives emerge, many observers are re-examining these past events and the impact they had on the music industry.
I want to say this to protect myself, that there's stories of Jay talking to underage girls. It was a girl from my block that was 16, 17 years old that Jay was talking to. If she was 17. So there's plenty of stories out there that they might flood the market of Jay talking to underage girls. I heard this kid that is claiming to be his son. His mother was 15 when she conceived him and had him at 16. And Jay refused to do a blood test or anything like that.
From your point of view, because I know you heard the statement that, Jay lawyer came out with about how he wasn't really friends with Diddy. From your point of view, was they really friends or no?
How close was Diddy and Jay-Z? They was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball, they wasn't playing baseball, they wasn't playing football, and they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his ass, and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half a homo, but I know I can't say it, but I don't know what kind of half a homo that is, and you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching white girls together. Because when they used to see each other, they used to say, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? He'd be like, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? So I guess that's a certain type of closeness.
Some observers have pointed out the timing of renewed scrutiny around both Jay-Z and Diddy, noting that developments involving each have surfaced close together. Reports and online commentary have fueled speculation about whether these events are connected, though no verified evidence has confirmed such claims. What is clear is that both figures are now under intense public attention, with many questioning how much of what is emerging reflects coincidence, legal process, or shifting narratives within the industry.
Something very scary happened to him. One of his close friends is speaking out and saying that while he was sleeping at the MDC Brooklyn jail, somebody came and put a knife pressed it to his throat. Now, as I keep digging into the story, they're saying, yes, a correctional officer, a police officer was the one who came and basically helped him out and quote unquote saved him. Yes. And so, obviously Diddy's lawyers are trying to use this as a way to just get him even moved to a different location. But right now, everything is kind of staying as is.
Yeah, his safety being an issue when he's supposed to be, I think in some sort of protected environment. Remember MDC? Isn't that where the Epstein situation happened?
Yeah. Is he safe though? And you say something about him getting stabbed? I was going to say, Diddy's team is saying no, he's not going to be safe because in court, we found out that there was an attempt on Diddy's life, that there was a man that attempted to shank him, but they stopped it, the correctional officers. And they say Diddy didn't even want people to know that he didn't want to make it a big deal. But of course, they're having that conversation about will he be safe because of who he is and how high profile this case is. Right. They're also having a conversation. Mark Geragos is a high profile attorney, a friend of Diddy's, but also the dad of Teeny Geragos, who led Diddy's defense about Diddy potentially being raped in court. And we can and just attacks on his life because they say that people look at him as like a trophy or a prize and to do something to him.
Well, what if other inmates hear all of the stuff that we've been hearing in the news all of these weeks and they scared of Diddy?
That's not how they presented it. I don't.
That's crazy to say Diddy's a trophy. Like he's looked at as a trophy in jail is crazy.
Some observers have noted that Diddy is now facing challenges he hadn't experienced before, highlighting how circumstances can change over time. For many, it's a reminder that even high-profile figures can encounter situations very different from those they were once in control of.
Are you concerned that Sean Diddy Combs could be sexually assaulted, violently assaulted? Is that a thing? Because based on what was said in court, it feels like a thing.
Yeah, it clearly is a thing. I mean, they're already, and he did not want to make a big deal of it. They already tried to shank him once at the MDC, and that was thwarted. And it happens in prison. I mean, you and I could tick off how many times we are aware of somebody getting seriously injured or killed in prison. And so they're going to have to keep him somewhere that they can keep an eye on him. It would have obviously been better if he had gotten less time and had been at a camp. But he's going to be in a facility where somebody's going to have to, from the BOP, and I think they're well equipped to do it if they can, to keep an eye on him because he is a target.
So let's say he is sent to a minimum security prison. Is he out of the woods when it comes to that kind of assault?
If you're going, you and I talked about Ghislaine Maxwell, who went from the one place in Florida, which was a higher level, not a camp. And she was transferred after she did the interview with the couple-day interview. She was transferred to what they call a camp in Texas, which I'm familiar with. I've had other clients.
The lawyers, when they were speaking on Diddy being in prison and the circumstances of him being in prison, I didn't never hear about this. And nobody ever said anything about this. And I want to know if it's in the prison records. They said one of the guards stopped a dude from shanking Diddy. Now, I'm like, if he was doing all this positive shit in jail, and they was talking about he was, all the inmates loved him, and they was employing him and doing standing ovation. I wonder what inmate was trying to shank him. Was that one of the Tupac? Was that one of the Tupac fans, or that was one of Biggie fans? Because they said that the guard. They said that in court. One of the lawyers, one of the guards, stopped one of the individuals that was trying to shank him, bro. And that was crazy. Nobody. I never. That didn't leak. Everything leaks from prison, but that didn't leak. Nobody wrote home and said, yo, dudes is in here trying to stab Diddy up. But the lawyers mentioned that today. I want to see if they're going to investigate that right there. You know what I'm saying? And base that, or he probably used that, base that on trying to help Diddy getting into one of those camps or one of those programs that, he ain't got to worry about nothing.
I mean, what this guy did is disgusting. I don't think there's a person alive, a man or a woman, especially women, who are not going to hate this guy. Whatever he did was completely disgusting. It's beyond criminal. I don't even know what it is. I look at it like he disgraced everybody. He disgraced the black race by being a black man. I know a lot of black people, and they hate him for it because it painted a picture towards all of them. I think it's being followed all over the world. If he's not found guilty, or he's cut free, or he does a short amount of time, I mean, I could only imagine what the whole world would think. This is a disgusting country. So there's a lot of things.
Sammy, if you would, give me your comparison. I mean, listen, guys in the mob did some terrible, terrible things. The murders were gruesome and violent and painful, and they served a purpose. They were meant to terrify people into staying in line, right? Compare that to the things that you've heard alleged from the witness stand and testimony under oath from a lot of these young women and some of the young men who were his assistants. Compare the guys in the mob to the stuff you're hearing alleged against Diddy.
If we did that in the mob, we would be killed for it. We would never touch women and children and stuff like that. So that's against our rules, our principles. We would never get away with something like that. There was a guy, Roy DeMeo and Gas Pipe, who became serial killers for no reason, and they were killed. So, I mean, if he was in the mafia, he would, and we knew what he was doing, he would have been, there would be no trial.
Like I said, Biggie died, Tupac died, and then there was the fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and Jay-Z, and then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown and he's taken out of the game, and it's all Jay-Z.
It's all Jay-Z.
It's all Jay-Z. And he was working with R. Kelly, and they were making so many records together. You know, they made all of those records together. They both, Aaliyah, they shared so much in common. You know? And then there was a falling out. And that's like it never happened. Whoever talks about best of the both worlds, best of both worlds. Nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about this yet.
Many are watching closely as new developments continue to emerge involving Diddy and Jay-Z's. Reports suggest that both are facing increased scrutiny, and public perception is shifting. Beyoncé is reportedly stepping back from the situation, and some who once supported Jay's are now re-examining their stance. If Gene Deal's insights are accurate, Jay's position in the industry could be at risk. To stay updated on all the latest developments as they unfold, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update.